And the first thing we'll do here is to sort the app drawer alphabetically. Now, if you open the app drawer here, you can see that it drops all of your most recently installed apps to the right, which is not what we want here. What we want is to have all of the apps show up in alphabetical order. And there's a bonus here actually. So to do this is actually pretty simple. All you have to do is tap on the three dot menu at the bottom there and tap on sort. And right there at the bottom, you will see alphabetical order. So all we have to do is tap on that. And when you tap on alphabetical order now, you can see now it tells you that you can swipe up. And the advantage that this has is that you can just swipe up like this and you have all of your apps, which I think just looks a lot more cleaner than the default way. It just dumps all the app you installed to the right and you don't really have that much control. This looks cleaner and this is what I suggest that you turn on first. If you've just got the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 or you've even had it for a while and you want to get the best out of this phone with some tips that you might know and definitely some that you will not know, well, you're in the right place. Let's supercharge your Z Flip 7. I'm Captain Awesome. This is Geekception. Consider liking, subscribing, or even supporting the channel, and let's get into it. Now, speaking of clean, the second thing I suggest you turn on here is the gesture navigation. Now, as you can see, we have the three menu navigation here, which is this is 2010. So let's change that. And to change that is actually pretty easy. Let us just go back into the settings here. And under the settings, we want to go into display. And under display, you just want to scroll up here. And we want to select here the navigation bar. And under navigation bar, you have two options. You have the buttons, which is what is here by default, and you have the swipe gestures. So let's change to swipe gestures there. And as you can see now, it has removed those three buttons. And when you swipe up like that, you're able to go into your home screen. You swipe and hold, you're able to go into your app drawer there. And let's go back into the display settings here. And there's another thing I always turn on here too when I'm in the display settings, which is the adaptive color tone, which is what will use your sensors on the front of your phone to actually look at the ambient temperature, similar to the True Tone on the iPhones, and it gives you that ability to have a more balanced display, which I also suggest you turn on here. And one of the new upgrades here with this new cover screen here on the Z Flip 7 is this massive cover window. And as you can see, I've already done some customizations here. So let me take you through how to do that, as well as, change your cover screen here. And to do that is actually pretty easy. First, you open up your phone here, you go into your settings, and under your settings, you want to scroll down and go to cover screen. So there's a cover screen option here in the menu. And in this cover screen, you are able to actually select different styles of cover screens that you might want. Now, these ones are the preloaded ones that have been included here on the Z Flip 7. But you can see I have one here, which is the one that I actually made and I actually customized. And one thing that is nice here on the Z Flip 7 is not only can you use your photos as a cover, all you have to do is just tap on gallery and you can select your photo there, which is easy. I also like the new clock here. Now, this clock is adaptable, so that means that when you pull it, it actually interacts with the elements on your cover screen. And I think that looks really good. And if I close it and I open it there, you can see just how nice that looks on the cover screen, which is really, really nice. I love it. And now that we're on the cover screen, you might want to open the camera and use your camera right here, which is nice. But what if you're a righty and you want to be able to use the camera controls, which are on the left right there? That's not really intuitive, but it's actually easy to do. All you have to do is press and hold, and you can actually just drag to the side. And just like that, you can now have better access to your cameras on this cover screen. So, you can change the settings here, you can change your zoom ratio, you can do all of this all from this side. And to undo it is actually pretty easy. You just drag and you drag to the other side, and boom, you have the ability to move it there, which is really, really nice. Now on this, my cover screen, you can see I have the ability to launch apps here. So let's say I can launch Twitter and I can use the full Twitter experience, or I can use even YouTube here, which I think you can be able to use YouTube officially, the official way. Or let's say, let me exit, let me open TikTok, which, normally you wouldn't be able to use a TikTok here. And so this is one of the nice things with being able to install a launcher that you can only get, not by default, but by installing the Good Luck, which is one of the customization apps here on the Z Flip 7. Now, as you can see, I had Home Up, so there are many ones here, but the one you actually want is MultiStar. Now, how do you get Good Luck? You get Good Luck by going to the Galaxy Store, which is the store. I'm just going to search for the Galaxy Store here, which should be very easy. We open the Galaxy Store, and on the Galaxy Store, you can just type on search there, use search for Good Luck, and this is where you get Good Luck. Now, when you have Good Luck installed, you install a module called MultiStar. So this is MultiStar. I've already installed it here. You just tap on install there, and when you tap on install there and you go to I Love Galaxy Foldable, you can then go to the launcher widget, and this is where you can customize adding different apps. So let's say I can add even more apps here to my launcher there, and when I close, for example, and I open up the screen here, you can see I have all of those apps on the launcher here on my cover window. So this is how you add an additional apps and app supports that by out of the box is not possible. And I think Samsung at this stage should have just enabled us to do this without having to go through all of this roundabout way, but this is how you are able to do it. And the next app, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but if you have, please leave a comment so I know you have really paid attention here, is the fact that when I close this phone, for example, and I open it again, you can actually see that I have a fold counter. Now, that is the widget that I have there, but the fold counter is actually an app you can download and install on the Play Store, which I installed, that shows you the amount of folds that you have here on the phone. As you can see how many folds I have today. Now, this app, I suggest you install it when you first get the phone, because it only starts counting from then, which is what I, obviously just had since I installed this. Not when I got the phone, I just installed it recently. And what I like about this one is the nice widget here, which actually shows you how many folds you have. Is there any, functional way? I don't think there's any, function to this other than just the aesthetics. It looks good, and as you can see there on my home screen, it looks really nice. I'll leave a link to that fold counter app in the description down there below. Next, since I know I always get so many comments about this, how I've been able to customize my home screen. As you can see, I have these icons here. I have all of these icons that are not, on a straight line. They're sort of curved around this widget that I have here. I have, this Google. I have my step counter here for how many steps I've actually taken. Now, the way I've been able to accomplish this are two ways. So the first is I use a widget pack here, and I believe the name of the widget pack is a New Thin Widget Pro, which is a widget pack that emulates the Nothing phones. So you have all the widgets there. So these are all the widgets I have here, like my clock and all of that. But how I'm able to arrange the apps is with a module on Good Luck called Home Up. Now Home Up here is really fantastic. It allows you to do so many things. And for me, on my home screen, I actually use this feature called DIY Home. Now, DIY Home is what enables me to be able to, for example, if I press and hold on an icon and I keep pressing it, it actually gives me the ability to do so many things like, move it around, but you already knew that. Let's say make the icon so big, rotate the icon however it is I want it like that, and, move it and go crazy. And of course, if I don't like it, I can just, go sort of to the back there. But yes, that's what Home Up allows you to do. And even if you see my recent apps menu right here, mine is much smaller than the regular one. So the regular one, let me just go into tasks changer here. If I turn this off and I go into this, you can see the regular one is a whole lot taller. But if I go back into this and I turn it on, you can see mine is much smaller, because I think it just works much better with this user interface here and with this form factor. So that's Home Up. It allows you to do so many customizations, and I really recommend it if you're someone who is into customizing your phone and making your phone look different and unique to yourself. Go download Good Luck from the Galaxy Store store and play with OMAP and, maybe share some of your home setups with me in my community page here on YouTube. Next, let us save your battery life on your Z Flip 7. And first, we need to just head into your settings right there. And under your settings, scroll down and go into battery. Now, there are a couple of settings here that we are going to change. And the first one is going to battery protection. Now, in battery protection here, there are a couple of options here, such as basic, maximum, and adaptive protection. So maximum is where it will stop charging at a level that we set. I mean, basic is just the basic. Who wants to be basic here? And adaptive is where it will stop charging at 80%. And I think you should enable adaptive if you're someone who you plug your phone in overnight and you just want a phone charged by the morning. Now, what this does is it will stop charging at 80%, and based on your usage patterns, it will only top up to 100% when it's closer to morning or when it's closer to when you would usually need your phone. And it will, understand these patterns after a while. And for me, I suggest you select maximum. Now, of course, for my people who want their batteries to last, forever, 80% will be suggested. But for me to be more realistic, I set mine to 90% here. And I think 90% is just the sweet spot between having a good battery life and a battery health that will be good for a long term. Because again, this battery or this phone has 7 years of software updates. So you definitely want to be able to take care of that in the long run. So that is battery here. And the next battery setting I suggest you change, which is not really a battery setting because you cannot find it actually in the battery settings, which is why it's not a very known tip, is to actually go into device care, and you get that by scrolling all the way down and you find device care here. Now for device care, if you scroll up there, you can actually see performance profile. Now performance profile by default is set to standard, which is where it uses, balances your processing speed, battery life, and cooling efficiency. Now I suggest you turn this to light. Now light here is supposed to prioritize battery life over efficiency and, processing speed. And I've noticed that there's not really been a penalty for, processing. So that does not mean that the phone got slower in my experience, but I've gotten significantly better battery life by turning on this setting. And I really recommend you turn it on as well. Now, one of the lesser known features that people have been asking for here on the Z Flip series, it's been on all the other flagship Samsung devices, is DeX. Now, DeX is the ability to be able to just plug a USB-C or a HDMI to USB-C into your phone and you get a full desktop experience. And to get your DeX settings, all you have to go to is connected devices. You scroll down and you will find Samsung DeX here. And on Samsung DeX here, you can actually connect with either a cable or connect wirelessly. And wirelessly, you need some compatible devices to be able to do this. But if you have it connected or on screen right now, I will show you me just connected, and you can see how you are able to actually use your Z Flip 7. You bring a keyboard, or you can even use just your phone as the mouse and trackpad there, and you're able to have a full desktop experience with this flip phone, which I think is really amazing and really crazy. So that is one of the things that we now have here on the Flip. And if you're someone who you're on the go, you have a portable display, you just want to be able to do some work and not be constrained by the Flip form factor and just have a much bigger desktop operating system, this is just plug it in and you are good to go. And next, let's reclaim your power button. And now when you press and hold on your power button here, what you get on the Z Flip 7 is actually Gemini, which is great for multimodal or being able to answer questions and all of that. But if you're old-fashioned like me, you might actually want to be able to use your power button as a power button and not this new side button nonsense. And to be able to change that is actually pretty easy. All we have to do is head into the settings here and you scroll all the way down like I have, and you tap on advanced features, and under advanced features here you tap on side button, and here you can actually tap on long press there, and you can switch it from digital assistant, which is what it is by default, to power off menu. So now when I press and hold, it actually gives me my power off menu. So this is how you change it to a power off menu. And if you're someone who actually likes to use it as a digital assistant, if you tap on the settings cog right there, you can actually change your default digital assistant. So for example, out of the box, box, it comes with Gemini, but here you can either change it to ChatGPT or my personal favorite, Perplexity, which I use a whole lot more because I have found it to just be much more accurate for research and doing very deep research as well. So these are all the options you have here for being able to either have your power button back to a power button or being able to change the behavior and the assistant that you summon, which is just magic if you brought this back 5-10 years ago. The next tip here is maybe not as functional, but I just always like to give my devices a bit of personality. And as you can see, I've already done that on the home screen here, which we'll come to in a while. Just keep watching. But here, we're just going to go into the settings here. And what I like to do is to make this device truly mine. And to do that is actually pretty easy. Here in the settings, let's scroll all the way down to About Phone. And on the About Phone here, we tap on Rename. And here is where I like to give my device their own name, which I believe gives it its own personality. So I'm just going to call mine the Awesome Z Flip 7 there. And boom, yes, I have given this device my name and I have made it mine. And I really think you should make your device yours as well. And in keeping in tune with making this device yours, I think you should secure your device. And to do that, it's actually pretty easy. First, we're in the settings app. And of course, you know how to go into the settings app there. You go to security and privacy, which is where you have now. And now you're going to see a couple of options. And I know it can be overwhelming, but we are going to go from one to the other. And I think the first one here is to go to screen lock and biometrics. Now here is where you want to set up your screen lock. So I think right now fingerprints usually is the way to go. Now to add your fingerprint, you need to select a security here. So you need to either have a PIN, password, or pattern. So it's as easy as just selecting the one you want. For me, I'll select PIN and fingerprints, and this is where you create a PIN. So for the case here, let's just create 1 2 3 4 5 6. You should definitely not be using 1 2 3 4 5 6, but this is just for demonstrative purposes only. And you get an option here, confirm PIN without tapping OK, which means that when you enter your PIN, do you want to tap OK and then only it unlocks, or as you enter your PIN completely it unlocks? I suggest you keep this toggle on so that it just unlocks when you enter your PIN and you don't have to have an extra step, which is what I always recommend. And yes, you know, here it gives me a warning that you shouldn't be using 1 2 3 4, which is fine. You really shouldn't. I'm just doing this for demonstrative purposes only. And I click OK. We click OK there. And here, after you've set your PIN or whatever security biometrics you decide to use, you get options of if you want to show notifications or not. I suggest you turn this off, or if you're going to turn this on, just have it as a dot, not as a card, so that you can protect all of your sensitive data even on your lock screen as well. This is what I'll suggest you do. You tap on done here, we tap on continue, we tap on continue again, and now when you tap on register, you just make sure to put your thumb. For me, I suggest using your thumb here, and we can then tap on register, and just like that, you hit that registration, move your finger around the sensor. All of this is pretty easy, so I think I'm just going to be fast forwarding through all of this part. And just like that, we have added the fingerprint here. Super duper easy. It will ask you if you want to add another, and the two fingers that I suggest here to add for your fingerprints are this, your thumb, and this right here, which is, I'm not sure if this is your index finger, so that, you know, when you hold your phone, you can unlock it like this, or when you hold your phone, you can unlock it like this. So I'm just going to register that second one, and we are done when it comes to registering your fingerprints. And since we are still here in security and privacy, one new setting that I suggest you change here is lock device protection. And under this is theft protection. So now what theft protection does is it protects and checks your identity before you are able to, let's say, unlock your phone and change settings. So in case you use a password like 1 2 3 4, or in many cases, maybe you even use a secure password and someone knows the password, they steal your phone and they try to immediately change your password and change your settings. They cannot do that. They would actually need biometrics, which is great. So you tap on theft detection lock here. If we turn it on, and offline detection lock as well, which will require internet if someone wants to change something. So let's turn turn that on as well. So which means that you can be protected no matter what. Even if your phone is snatched from your hands, you know that your data will be safe and you can have that peace of mind. Now, while setting up your phone here, you might have turned on auto blocker. Now, auto blocker is supposed to be a security setting where it blocks apps from unauthorized use, and it blocks malware and all of that, and you can turn that on. But if you're a little bit more advanced and you want to be able to install your own APKs, you want to be able to install your own apps that are not from the Play Store, I really suggest you turn off auto blocker. I'm a much more advanced user, so I turn off auto blocker, but for you, you might want to keep this on. And coming to the AI features that you have here on the Z Flip 7, and we're going to start with the first one, which is the one I use every single time, which is circle to search. And I don't actually use it to circle to search, but just for a quick refresher, circle to search is quite easy. You tap and hold on your home gesture bar right there, or even the home button, and it brings up this search interface. Well, it's not a search interface yet. All you have to do is, for example, circle it like that, and it searches for whatever it is on screen. So this image shows, for example, a FX30 digital cinema camera, but actually I don't use it for that. What I use it for is on-screen translations, and I miss this every single time I go to my iPhone. So when I've pressed the circle to search button, it gives me the ability on the bottom right here to actually translate the screen. And as you can see, it translates what is on screen, you know, thanks to the Blackmagic for the Sony. Thank you, Blackmagic there. And what I like about this is it works for images as well, not just, text. So most times, you know, when there's an image, I want to transcribe the text and, you know, translate it into English rather instead of transcribe. Circle to search is always there for me. And of course, when we go into the gallery app and you have a photo here, you can actually tap on the AI button at the bottom there, and it will actually, you know, bring you this option if you've not used it at all before, showing you some of the features you get here in the gallery app, and with AI or also advanced intelligence here, such as, you know, photo assist, drawing assist, audio eraser, and photo ambient wallpaper. When we tap on continue here and we tap on more, we tap on OK, and here you can actually just circle around, and I'm sure you've seen some of the images online of people that, you know, circle around this, and you're able to, let's say, erase parts of the image here, which is super duper easy. You know, you tap on that, you tap generate, and just like that, it will start generating and it will eliminate any of the things that is in the image. And I'm just talking so that we can get the final result while I'm talking, and boom, just like that, you can see it had something there before, and I tap on show original. Look at that, it just removed that, and it's so clean. That is something I like about it. This is one of the features that you get here on the Z Flip 7 as well. But if you're a privacy conscious person and you do not want any of those features, or you only want features that you know that will be processed on your phone, you can actually go into your settings app right here, go into Galaxy AI, and under here, of course, just for a little bit of a refresher, you can see some of the AI features that you get. And because this is a, you know, premium device, you actually get a lot of AI features. But if you only want, you know, data that can be processed on your device alone and not sent to any servers, and, you know, if you're very privacy conscious, you can tap on process data only on device. That means you will lose access to some of the Galaxy AI features, but you will be able to have better security. For me, I definitely love the awesome intelligence features, so I'm going to turn that off. And here on the Z Flip 7, you still get the now bar and now brief. So now brief basically enables you to be able to have your different details, and I think I can add it here as a widget. So let me just press and hold. Let me tap on widgets there. So let me tap on now brief. So you see the now brief widget here. So let me just select this now brief widget. Let me drop it on a new home screen right there. And if you tap on it there, you start now brief here, you can actually see some of the weekend activities. Now, it's a bit thin. That's one of the criticisms I have for now brief here, but it definitely gives you some detail, and hopefully they improve it in future versions here. But now brief and now bar, which is where you get updates to, let's say, football scores or deliveries or your maps. Yeah, now bar and now brief are also AI features that I think they could have done a whole lot better, but it's still here and it's still AI and it still works on the Z Flip 7. And another AI feature that is present here on the Z Flip 7, which I really like, is the multimodal Gemini from your cover screen. So if you press and hold right here, you can actually get access to Gemini Gemini right here on your home screen, and you don't even need to unlock. It just is able to, start doing and asking whatever questions it is you want right here. And if I'm not mistaken, you should be able to, there should be a multimodal mode, which means you should be able to launch your camera. So if you tap there, let me just unlock with my fingerprint. You can actually,
I'm Gemini.
Yes, skip, and you go live with Gemini, okay?
All right,
and
chatting whenever you're ready.
Yes, so now I can just enable my camera right here, and I can say, hey Gemini, what can you see right now?
Okay, I see your camera. It's mounted on a tripod and pointed upwards towards the ceiling fan. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about it?
No, but can you tell my subscribers to like and subscribe to this video?
Sure. Everyone, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more awesome content.
Thank you so much, Gemini.
You're welcome.
And there you have it. That's how to use the multimodal. And of course, you can be able to, look at all the different use cases. Maybe you are out and you just want to quickly be able to find something. You press and hold on that button. You go into that multimodal mode and boom, it's great. I really like it, especially because you don't even have to unlock your phone to be able to, not unlock, but you don't have to flip open your phone to be able to do it. And if we see at the bottom here, that is how the now bar looks. I was talking about the now bar earlier. This is actually the now bar there. So this is how the now bar looks on the cover screen right there, which I think it just looks so beautiful here on the cover screen. So yes, those are some of the AI features you get here on the Z Flip 7. And I keep thinking that I'm done with AI, but another AI feature that I use, I swear this is the last one, is actually this, which is the AI Select. So the AI Select, you get it by swiping on this sidebar here. Now the sidebar is usually at the top right there. And AI Select is great because unlike Circle to Search, you can actually use AI Select for certain things. For example, you can use it to create GIFs. So let's say, let me open this video. I select the AI Select. Let's say I tap on this here and I tap on saved in gallery right there. And yeah, it saved it in gallery, which is really, really nice. I use this a lot and I just had to say it before I wrapped up this section. Okay, I'm done here. I'm done. And finally, let's go into my most favorite part of this, which is the camera app. Now in the camera app here, there are certain settings I suggest you change. There are certain things that we're going to, change here to be able to get the best of the quality here on the Z Flip 7. And the first here is to actually enable motion photos, which you tap and turn on there. And motion photos is actually pretty easy. So let's say I take a photo here and I just move it around. And if we go into the photo I just took, it's a normal photo. You tap on view motion photos right here and you actually be able to see your photos come to life as that one. So let me play it again. You can see there, motion photo, it actually comes to life right there, which I really, really love. And that's the first setting I suggest you turn on. Next, let's tap on that three-dot icon there and go into the settings. And there are definitely many settings here to change. And I think the first one here is intelligent optimization. Now, for intelligent optimization, there are three options you have here, and the first is maximum, which is what you get by default, but I'll always suggest you turn it to minimum. Basically what this means is how much is this phone going to process the photos that you take. And I know that people have that vintage feel that they want to their photos, and if you want the best vintage photos, select minimum, as that will have the most minimal processing here on the Z Flip 7. For me, I like a balance, which is why I'll select medium right here. Going back out here, and we're going to advanced picture options here, and for pro video format, I'll always select RAW and JPEG video formats, which are video formats that I really, really like, especially when you are in the pro mode right there. For videos here, I would turn off auto FPS. Why? Because I want my frames to be constant, especially if you're someone who you want to be able to use your videos with other videos from other cameras. You want that auto FPS off. Next, going into advanced video options here, and for me, I do not like HDR video because I do not like those videos on Instagram where it's just so bright for no goddamn reason. So I'm going to turn that off. High bitrate videos here, I'm going to turn it on. That means that your videos will have the highest, file size, but I believe if you're spending this much on a phone anyway, you want the best quality, and that gives you the best quality. Next is log video. Now, log video is a professional video format which you will be using if you're someone who wants to color grade and all of that, and you don't even need to color grade if that is something you wanted to do. You tap on video and pro video formats here, and that means that it will show up in your not only in your pro video format but in your video format as well. Now we will come back to that later. Now for this here, the general settings here, fit to screen is the aspect ratio here, but for me I don't like that fit to screen, especially because it is not as great as I would like. But let's turn it on actually, because I've been experimenting with 3 to 4 recently. And for composition guide here, I will turn it on. So composition guide basically means you get the grid and the level. I'll show you that again after we go back into the camera interface. And of course we want location tags right here so that any photo or video you take, you can actually see it on the map, which I always like. And next is settings to keep here. Now for settings to keep, it means that for me, I will just mostly turn everything on except one, which is exposure. Now settings to keep means that when you exit your camera and you come back into your camera, it will actually remember what was the last camera mode that you used. And camera assistant is on Good Luck, which is one of the modules I installed on Good Luck, which we spoke about earlier. And here you are able to have different settings that you can customize here on Good Luck. And of course there are so many settings here, and it differs a little bit from phone to phone, but you have that ability here as well. Now if we go into back into the interface here, the nice thing with this phone is there's a setting on the top right there. So if you tap on that, it actually turns on your cover screen preview, so you can actually be able to see your photos on the cover screen as you are also seeing it on the back screen as well. So that's one of the options there. Another of the option here is the filters. Now this phone has a very extensive filtering system or filter system that I really quite love. And one of the nice things about this is, other than all of these other presets that you can customize, of course, you can actually add a photo as a filter. So let's say this YouTube video that I downloaded, well, that I used the AI select on, it actually created a filter from the photo. And if you tap on create there, it actually just creates it from that photo. I think this is really fantastic, and it's really amazing. And it's one of the things that I like about this. Of course, this phone here has the 50 megapixel mode. And one thing to note in the 50 megapixel mode is you only have access to the 2x camera. You don't get the ultra wide angle, because this is only the main camera here that has that 50 megapixel mode here. So that's another thing to take note into account. And if you go into video mode here, because we enabled the log video, you can see the log video here is desaturated, but I told you that you don't need to grade, because let's say you record log video here and you're just recording, this is the highest quality. You don't actually need to color grade. And if you go into your gallery right here, you swipe up and you tap on correct color, it will actually then color grade it for you, and you have the option to save a copy right down there below into your gallery app, and it's saved. And one thing that is nice about this is that you get all the benefits of the high dynamic range while still able to record log here on your phone, which I think is amazing. And in fact, the nice thing here is you can even record log on your front camera, which is mind-blowing. Even some of my more professional phones or more camera focused phones there might not even have this feature. So that's definitely something here that I really love here on the Z Flip 7. Now the camera, of course, you also have the ability to have your camera here on the screen here, and there are a few, I would say, things to note here when you're recording photos. And of course, to be able to take photos here, let's say I go to the 0.6x, which is how you probably want to be taking photos. If you just put your hand to it like that, you're actually able to start a countdown, in case you did not know. And if you swipe left, you're able to go into portrait mode. And if you swipe all the way to the right, you're able to go into video mode. And let's say here you can, stop recording. You can tap on log. You can stop recording log by going into the settings there. And here you can get several options, such as 9:16, 16:9, turn off log video. And I think one of the things that I really didn't like here is if I have 16:9, 9, I'm still limited to full HD. And if you want to record 16:9, which is, the landscape videos here, I suggest you actually go to 9:16, not 16:9. So 9:16, you get the UHD60, which is the highest frame rate you can get here on the Z Flip 7, and you rotate it. And when you rotate it like this, you can actually just record like this, and this will have, let's say I start recording, this will actually mean that you get that full recording quality, but you do need to rotate the phone. So if you have the phone in its standing method right there, like this, you will not get that. So that's one tip, especially here if you want to record video. And of course, speaking of video, when we go back into the video mode here, you're able to record the UHD60, which is the highest quality video resolution here on even the front camera as well. And of course, if you swipe down, you're able to go into the back camera, and on the back camera you can go into UHD60 as well. Now UHD60, I also love that you can still record on the ultra wide. And one thing I like about Samsung phones is if you're recording a video right there, you can go into camcorder mode by just turning it into half. Let me just turn that off. You can go into camcorder mode here by just using it like a literal camcorder like this. By just opening it, you get your controls here, and you even get your smooth zoom control where you can, zoom like that, very, very smooth. And not even that, that's not all. Another thing I like here is you can not only switch between the 0.6x and the 1x camera, and of course you get digital zoom up to 10x because you only have one camera here. You can even go to the front camera as well, like while recording. You don't need to stop recording. So one thing I like here, there is a slight delay when you switch from the back camera to the front camera, and you can see it still remembered the camera. Well, it went to 4x instead of 10x, but you have that possibility here, and it's really fantastic. I like the video recording mode here on Samsung devices, and here on the Z Flip 7, you're absolutely going to love it. And before I forget, there is also a auto framing mode that you get here on the Z Flip 7, which means yes, this is the auto framing mode. So for the auto framing mode, when you have something like this, as I move in the frame, you'll see that it will actually like auto frame me into the shot right there. You see that? I can move like that, and it will, as much as possible, try to keep me centered. So you can turn on auto framing by selecting this right here, and this is how you get auto framing. And this will be fantastic if you're recording yourself and you just want to prop your phone up on the table like that, and then just move around and have the camera or the phone just track everywhere that you are. This will be great, and I really suggest you turn on auto framing mode here on the Z Flip 7, especially when you have it in this recording mode right here. And there you have it. That's all you need to get your Z Flip 7 from meh to wow. I hope some of these tips have been able to help you, and if they have, leave a comment to the one that you liked, or if you have some other tips that I did not cover here in this video, also let me know there as well. And most importantly, make sure you take care of yourself. Consider again liking and subscribing here on the channel if you've liked what I've done, or even donating to me here, whether it's on YouTube memberships, it's on Patreon, it's on PayPal. If you really like what I've done here and you just want to give back so that I can keep making some of these videos. And even if you don't do any of that, make sure you text me when you get home so I know you got home safe. And watch out for tapir because they're bigger than they appear. And until the next one, don't forget to stay awesome. Bye. And thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. Now I'm so excited about this video actually because I used some titles here which I've not used before, and I'm just trying to lean into using some humor there. So I hope you enjoyed it, as well as this video. This video is really long, but I think long for me now is very subjective. I think 37 minutes is where I'm very comfortable now as opposed to before. So I'm happy here. I just want to quickly export this and go get a haircut. As you can see, my hair is quite long. It doesn't look long, but it's really, really long. So I'm going to try to get a haircut there and go to the barbers who you require, the entire universe to basically align to be able to get an appointment with this guy. So hopefully I can quickly go get my haircut today. But other than that, I hope you're doing well. Hope, things are going well with you. Please share some things you're excited about personally and leave #haircut so I know you made it all the way to the end of the video. And I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to stay awesome. All right, bye.